Radical.
Is the new game for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, kinda trash? That's what we would be looking into today. And actually, I am over at Metacritic, where a lot of people go to kind of get the lowdown on a game. Metacritic is a place that kind of collects, well, it doesn't kind of do it, it collects lots of different viewers from outlets, and then there's an average Metacritic score that balances out all the critics scores. Now, I am on the lower end, you see here, on the critic scores, because in the same way when I go to Amazon, when I want to really see how a product is, it's just a habit I have. I go to the lowest reviews. Because I kind of feel like whether it's a video game or it's a product on Amazon, usually you're going to get a lot of 10 out of 10, 5 stars. But I kind of want to see the lower end of the spectrum just to kind of get an idea of what problems I might run into when I'm playing a game. And we're going to look at, just kind of glance at some of these lower reviews. And I'm going to talk to you about some of the issues that I think might keep people away from getting this particular game. And also, I'm going to talk about some of the positives that I have seen from some of the gameplay. All right. NME. Metroid Prime fans have been waiting 18 years for Beyond, but doesn't quite live up to the hype. Sure, blasting aliens and exploring sci-fi ruins is as thrilling as ever, but zipping about the deserted world of Vuros? Yeah? Is that what it's called? Vuros? Huh. On your new motorbike is nowhere near as fun as it should be. Eurogamer Germany. 18 years after the last installment, Samus Aran finds herself lost in the most linear, easiest game yet. Nevertheless, the unique atmosphere, solid foundations, excellent visuals, and several neat dungeon ideas make Vinros worth a visit. Well, that sounds like better than a 60, doesn't it? That sounds better than a 6 out of 10. Going up again to Eurogamer Portugal, not to be confused with Eurogamer Germany. Metroid Prime 4 has occasional moments of brilliance, especially when it approaches the original trilogy, but the Metroidvania design seems to have been oversimplified, the open world does not work, and parts of the progression involve bizarre decisions. Gaming Bible. Oh, you can testify. You can testify. You can depend on the Gaming Bible. This is religious. This is, what are some other things I could say about it? I don't know. I'm going to not go with the preacher bit. I just don't have the energy right now to go into the full preacher bit, but I do actually a pretty good preacher bit. Damn, I'm parched. I just woke up. I shouldn't be attempting this, but we're going to continue this. Gosh, this is just it's not turning out the way I want it. Actually, I'm going to give probably this upload a 5 or 6 out of 10. Just letting you know, it's not working as planned. Gaming Bible says, as the biggest Metroid Prime game yet, it's fallen into a trap that many open world games What the fuck is up with my voice? Damn it. Shit. I think this is cursed. It's fallen into the trap that many open world games succumb to, an overwhelmingly feeling of emptiness. The actual levels themselves are good, look great, but are dragged down by interfering NPCs and linear layouts that defeat the point of a Metroidvania entirely. Also talking about the linearness of it. Inverse. Ultimately, much of Metroid Prime 4 feels like a failed experiment. As great as it is to explore the lightning-struck Volt Forge or pick through the haunted remains of the Ice Belt facility, the game's standout moments are buried in drudgery. Eurogamer. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is enjoyable enough and has glimpses of vintage Metroid shining through, but this game could and should have been so much more. And we'll do one more. VGC. 4 Beyond feels like a game stuck between two worlds. When it's emulating previous entries, Beyond is a blast, with excellent boss battles and truly gorgeous environments to explore. But this is eventually bogged down by out-of-place additions, awkward storytelling, and overly aggressive hand-holding that spoils the discovery. In my history personally with Metroid, I've not played any of the Prime games. I hear some of them are amazing. I played the original Metroid, I don't think I finished Super Metroid, and some of the handheld offerings, the 2D stuff. I'm a big fan of the 2D Metroid, and I know there's room for 3D Prime. I know there is. When it comes to Castlevania, I don't like the 3D Castlevanias. I'm a fan of, and when people talk about Metroidvania, meaning a combination, I'm a fan of brilliant games like Symphony of the Night. That's one of my top 10 games of all time. I love Symphony of the Night. And sometimes you just want, I told you this damn thing's cursed. No water near me. I always have water near me, but I've always been a fan personally. When I play a game like a Metroid or a Castlevania, I like getting lost in it, and I like not exactly knowing what to do next. One game people might bring up is the open world of Blaster Master, for instance. Some games are supposed to be harder than others. Now, I'm not saying every game has to be like a Dark Souls, but I do not like the idea of a Metroid game where you have all these NPCs around and holding your hand. I don't like that. I think the feeling of a Metroid should be, don't they have a series title that's named Dread? Kind of like a feeling of dread. You know, and you get that feeling even if you fire up the Game Boy version, Metroid 2 on Game Boy. You're alone in this world. You have to survive. And I've seen footage of this character with glasses. He's a nerd, chicken shit. He's even in yellow armor. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? And then I see this weird female fan of Samus that's going around her armor like, oh my god, it's you. I can't believe it's you. I'm like, what the fuck is this doing in a goddamn Metroid game? Now I hear that this game actually had a development cycle of hell, and over 20 studios worked on this game. That's a bad sign right there when you have a lot of different studios working on the same exact experience. And another thing people will bring up about this game that I see is a meaningless open world. Now, sometimes you can have an open world game that makes a whole lot of sense, but sometimes you just have it tacked on. That's the trend of having these games with tacked on open worlds. Can we just get out of this habit of tacking on an open world when you don't need a fucking open world in it? I've seen the desert. It's a barren desert. It's almost a joke that it's a barren desert in this game. A lot of people criticize Breath of the Wild, and they criticize the open world in that game and how you traverse it. A lot of different critics of Breath of the Wild back in 2017 when that came out. But that's nothing from what I've seen here. Apparently in this open world, all you do is you ride around on your bike, cool looking bike, and you slam into these green crystals. And to let any of you know that are going to get this game, guess what? Guess what? Just to let you know, you better slam into those green crystals the whole way through the game. Because you've got over an hour. If you don't slash any of those crystals, there's a big surprise at the end of the game. Not to give anything away, but there's a big surprise where you have to spend an hour or so filling up your fucking green crystal meter. Ain't that some stupid bullshit? Just ticky tacked on. But yeah, that barren desert. Now let's say some nice things. Nice things. Graphics. Graphics look really, really damn good. Looks like the gameplay looks really good. Looks like it looks a little bit like Halo though, but actually I think some 343 people worked on this game. A lot of people sometimes will put Halo and Metroid, the 3D, they'll kind of link the characters together a little bit. So the game looks good. It looks like it's fun to play. But all these things keep me, if I had a Switch, I don't know if I would pay like, what's it, $70? I don't think I would pay $70 to go onto the desert, and just hit into crystals for a lot of the game. And I think the NPCs would kind of annoy me a bit, I believe. What else? Anything else, I think? No, I don't think it's kind of trash. I think it's just a mediocre, above mediocre experience. Maybe I'm wrong. It looks just mid though. There's a lot of people that have given it 10s out of 10s, a lot of the Nintendo outlets, but ultimately I'm not going to get it. It doesn't make me want to go get a Switch just to play this game.